episode of Sports Science, we're measuring the X factors. If there's one thing athletes can't control, it's officiating. Nobody in sports takes more grief than baseball's home plate umpire. Every close call he makes upsets one team or the other, not to mention the fans. To reveal the science and art of calling balls and strikes, our state-of-the-art lab will bring you a never-before-seen look at baseball through the eyes of a major league umpire. For this high-tech masterclass in calling pitches, we brought in former Major League umpire Jim Evans. Jim spent 28 years behind the plate. That's nearly 500,000 pitches.
The basis of good umpiring is good training. And when you're prepared for most things, you're able to rise to the occasion.
Jim, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Major League umpire, the most vilified official in all of sports. So what we want to do, we want you to give me a crash course on being an umpire.
Okay.
Now, John's ready for lesson 1. Keep your eye on the ball.
Watch this ball.
Okay. That's it.
Don't blink.
I'm not blinking.
All right. All right.
I can't help but snap my head back.
It's a natural reaction. You've got to overcome that. That's lesson number 1. Now, you're going to have pitches that get away from the catcher sometimes, the ball's off the bat, and they're going to hit you.
An umpire has to train himself to overcome fear and the involuntary reflex to blink, knowing all too well that he's always in the line of fire.
You can't be fearing this and anticipating that as the pitch is coming in.
Are you going to warn me?
No, I'm not going to warn you. Why should I warn you? Don't blink.
All right,
Don't
hold on.
blink. You
Wait,
can't
you're
call the
trying to
pitch-
teach me to not blink, right?
Yeah, I'm
All
trying to teach you to eliminate the element of fear.
Right. Now, hold, that's not fair.
The average human blink takes 300 to 400 milliseconds, well under a half second. But for an umpire, a poorly timed blink can potentially decide a game. Here's why. A 95-mile-per-hour fastball reaches the catcher's mitt in 395 milliseconds, or just under 0.4 of a second. That's faster than the time it takes to blink our eyes. In an average game, the umpire sees 300 pitches. That's 300 split-second decisions he has to make without ever blinking. After you master the art of not blinking, here's lesson number 2. Know the strike zone.
Okay, now it's time for the big test. Okay, you want to be behind the catcher.
All right.
All umpiring is angle and distance. Spread these feet about shoulder width apart. Okay, now just sit down like you're sitting in a chair. You get in the proper angle, the proper distance. You should be able to see the play and call it properly.
Okay.
For more insight into the difficulties of the job, we equip John's mask with a lipstick camera for an ump's eye view.
What was it? Make a call. Let's go. Make a call.
What was it? Depends on when you played. Here's the evolution of the boundaries of the strike zone. For nearly 100 years, baseball used the same strike zone first established in 1887. A pitch that, quote, passes over home plate, not lower than the batsman's knee, nor higher than his shoulders. In 1969, it was redefined and reduced between the armpits and the tops of his knees. Another change in 1988 lowered the top of the strike zone from the armpits to the midpoint between the shoulder and the top of the uniform pants. And most recently, in 1996, the bottom boundary lowered too, from the tops of the knees to the bottom of the knees.
Now the strike zone we're talking about is from the hollow beneath his knee over the plate, the 17-inch plate, and no higher than the midpoint between the top of his pants and the top of his shoulders, which will be right about here. Now the key though is that's when he's swinging at the pitch. It's not when he's just standing up here in a static position.
So it's actually when they're swinging.
As the rule book says, as he prepares to swing, that's when he takes his stride.
Okay.
Here we go. What was it? Make a call. Let's go. Make a call. Why are you looking back at the picture?
Well, where am I supposed to look?
The ball.
Strike!
The ball's outside. You called it too quick. You didn't track the pitch from the strike zone into the mid. That's why you missed that pitch. They're going to be yelling at you from both sides all night long, okay? Every hitter's going to be turning on you and saying, you can't give him that pitch. This is an easy job, isn't it?
No, not with you yelling at me.
Where was that?
Ball?
What is it? Ball? I don't believe you. You got to sell that. If I'm the catcher, I'm going to probably turn and ask, where's that pitch? Ball one! There are over 300 pitches in a game.
All right.
And you're expected to get every one of them right.
Strike!
Okay, where was your head looking though? Was the pitch high enough?
It was high enough.
Where was it?
It was at his belt.
At his belt. Caught the ball right here.
So that was not a strike?
Yes, it was a strike.
Well,
It was a strike, but it wasn't at belt height. Don't miss the ball.
ball.
What is it?
Ball.
What is it?
Ball.
Ball? Indecision. They'll bury you in your first rookie league. If you're in a real game situation, these guys aren't playing. They're playing for millions and millions of dollars, and they expect you to be perfect and then get better with each game.
All right, now I think I know why you guys are so cranky right now. I mean, this is really hard. This is something that, I mean, umpires aren't the most pleasant people in the world.
You're saying I'm not pleasant?
You're not going around handing out roses to everybody. You're yelling at me.
It takes mental toughness to be an umpire.
Since you just broke me down, can you build me back up? Just give me a hug.
Sure, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Give me some love.
Okay.
Jeez.
You did a good job for a first day student.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
So next time you start to scream at the umpire, remember that the best hitters on the planet fail 70% of the time. Umpires make 300 split decisions every game. And regardless of what you might think, they're almost always right. So pipe down. Coming up, science reveals a golf secret that can help add distance to every shot. And you don't have to change your swing.